Hello, we're back. It's day 11. Hopefully, you're still with us, dear viewers. We're going to check on what's on day 11 on the Doctor Who stream. Bit of a correction from the other day. I went a wee bit angry when I saw that Revenge of the Cybermen wasn't on the schedule. Apparently, it is. I got someone, Big James, to send me the other schedule that's at the bottom of the actual Twitch stream, which seemed to be more accurate because Revenge is on there, and fair play to it. It's a banger of an episode. I don't know why the other one didn't have it on it. I went over and over it. I don't know if I was just being aggressively dyspraxic and not seeing Revenge on there for whatever reason. Maybe it was like a subconscious thing that I didn't want to see it on there. I wanted to court controversy somehow. But what is on Doctor Who on Twitch? Day 11. Goodness, has it been 11 days already? You've got Planet of Evil, which is on right now. You've got Pyramids of Mars. You got the Android Invasion. You got Brain of Morbius, Seeds of Doom, Mask of, is it Mara Dragona? I don't, Mandragona. I've never heard it said out loud because I've never seen the episode. And Hand of Fear. So you've got bangers. Like you're in Fourth Doctor territory, and you're in early Fourth Doctor territory. So not but bangers from here on out for the night. Anyway, you've got this is kind of like the second half of Sarah Jane's adventures with the Fourth Doctor, because you've got her leaving tonight in the Hand of, is it the Hand of Fear she leaves? I'm absolutely certain it's the Hand of Fear she leaves in. But yeah, and you start with the Planet of Evil, which I'm pretty certain is just Forbidden Planet, which is it the Tempest? It's a Shakespeare play. I didn't know that until someone pointed that out last year, because I was like, well, it's Forbidden, like Planet of Evil is just Forbidden, just Forbidden Planet, eh? That old, is it a 50s sci-fi, 60s sci-fi, the one with Robbie the Robot? Like, I know a lot of these videos will come back to me saying clank clank your dead hands, but clank clank your dead hands turn up a lot in classic Doctor Who, so bear with me when I talk about that. Yeah, I have very nostalgic memories about Planet of Evil. I'm going to have to keep referring back to it because both Planet of Evil and Hand of Fear have quite generic names. So, I mean, like, Planet of Evil is as, I don't want to say generic, but it's as basic as you can kind of get for a classic Who name. Planet of Evil. It's got like an antimatter monster, and if it's not an antimatter monster in the episode, it pretty much is. And like, it's pretty much, I want to say it's just Forbidden Planet. I feel like it's like a creature from the Id scenario again. Like, it's been years since I've watched Planet of Evil, but I have very, very, very fond memories of it. And it's jungle. I feel like that's the one where they did good kind of indoor studio jungle work. You just don't get that anymore. Like, it's all green screen, and that's not me being like, oh, green screen. Like, you can do incredible things with it, but you don't get that vibe, that shonky budget vibe. Not since like the Mighty Bush, I want to say, is they've actually like went out to get that shonky vibe on the television. I suppose Noel Fielding's luxury comedy, but that's the same kind of thing. And I suppose that was this decade, so I guess you're still kind of getting it. Goodness. But Planet Evil, it's really good. It's not much to talk about because, like I say, I've not seen it for years. I just have pleasant memories of it. It's an early Fourth Doctor adventure. It's good. There's really not much more. Just that's the other thing. They've got the thing I like to think about with Planet of Evil is they have the foam space suits. They're like ribbed foam space suits. They're very disco and very 70s, and I love them. Spacesuit of the night. And then it's Pyramids of Mars after that, which I feel like is the one, it's like the one you say is the best one. Because like you can say Genesis of the Daleks is the best classic Who, but really, I feel like there's that kind of subculture of folk that are like, no man, it's Pyramids of Mars. Pyramids of Mars is excellent. It has an incredible villain, like Sutekh the Destroyer, with his paper mache head. And like, it's just a mummy. It's just a mummy episode. And like, it's very much one of those like Hammer horror pastiche, I guess, or homages, if you want to say. They work through it in the Fourth Doctor's era. They have like mummies, and they have like Mobius is just Frankenstein, and they do vampires. They eventually do vampires. Like, vampires is like the E-space. Like, it's very late in the Fourth Doctor's run. It's almost at the end of the Fourth Doctor's run, but like he does get vampires eventually, so you can totally sit down and have like a classic movie monster night of Doctor Who, which I kind of might want to do. Really thinking about it, I don't really. I mean, like, I know the entire the entire thing of this stream is that we're sitting down watching relentless amounts of Doctor Who, but I don't know if I could do multiple stories back to back in that vein. Maybe for Halloween, actually, that could be a good Halloween suggestion. By Pyramids of Evil, Pyramids of Mars. The evil suffix or whatever is just going to invade all of my titles because it's so generic and hooey. By Pyramids of Mars, there's literally nothing bad you can say about it I want to say. Like, it's basically one of those flawless eps. And those flawless eps are, like, incredibly hard for me to talk about because there's not much, like, banter worth going on. It's just like, aye, this is quality television that you definitely need to see. Sutekh, he's like a siren, and I kind of want like more sirens to be about. Like, he's like a proper space god in the vein of like Thor and like the new gods from DC, but he's Egyptian themed. And I feel like he's ahead of his time in that regard because like Egypt themed stuff and Egypt themed villains are very 90s. It's very, I know, like 70s loop through to the 90s and that kind of the nostalgia thing, but you know, I feel like it was ahead of its time with its Egyptology stuff. I know it's just parodying or like homaging 20s mummy movies and whatnot, but you get me. You get me, and that's the key thing. Try to think what else. The Doctor like rigs up a device at one point in Pyramids of Mars, and that's like a good Doctor does a thing moment. Is it a thing? Oh no, it's like doesn't this, because there's like is it Victorian scientists they have, and then they make a thing and that like interacts with the, whatever space magic that's going on, and then I feel like the Doctor berates them for it. Yeah, the mummy design is fantastic as well. It always sticks with me. It's such a weird kind of 70s-ification of like the classic mummy design because they're just mummy dudes, but like they're so bulky and they've got like an A-shaped torso because they're like robots. Because like of course they're robots, but they've got like a weird look that you can't really like describe. It's not something they probably went out of their way to do. It's just like whatever like vibes were affecting the costume makers that day made those mummy designs, because there's something just weirdly eerie and odd and off about them that like really works. Aye, big Pyramids of Mars. And then the android invasion is one that I feel like people like. It's the last unit story, and I bring that up because I have it over here. I got it on VHS from my charity shop, I guess last year now because we're in the new year. But this is another one I have quite nostalgia for. I remember seeing it on the Omnibus in UK Gold, and I remember being affected by the androids because I don't know if you'll see it in this light on the camera, but like it's the eyes. The eyes really. There's something. I know it looks naff, and I know it doesn't. It's not scary, but it's like affecting. It's like when the face falls off, but there's still like completely circular eyes and like no mouth that must scream. I think of that a lot. It's a good design. It is like I know it's just a paper mache or like it's just like a wee prop head, but like it works. I wanted to say until I watched it again last year on the Twitch stream, I forgot that there was aliens. Like, and I know a lot of the episode is the aliens. It's these like I don't even know, man. Like it's these folk and they're experimenting. The thing is, right? The thing I take away from watching it last year, and this is not what I remembered of it as a youth, but it's very, very similar to The World's End. See that third Blood and Ice Cream trilogy film, the one after Hot Fuzz, where like spoilers for The World's End, but the town's like replaced by these androids that bleed ink, and it's a whole conspiracy thing. Very similar. Like it's something. I know it's just because it's like the village setting and the androids, but I want to know if like Edgar Wright was like affected by the android invasion as a youth, because you know, I always thought that The World's End felt like an episode of Doctor Who. It felt like a New Who episode. It specifically feels like this. Doctor Who, though, which is quite weird because, like I say, I feel like not many people like the android invasion. I don't think it's not a good like unit send off because like the Brigadier's not there. I feel like he wasn't invited back to fill, or he was invited back, but he'd already like taken on a new job because he was an actor and he needed to work and he couldn't just like wait for them to want to do a unit story every so often. And I feel like the other thing is is it a Terry Nation? Yeah, it's a Terry Nation. It's a Dalek creator episode. And yeah, I think it's even without knowing, I feel quite confident in saying there's probably a bomber or a virus in the episode at some point. You might notice me not swinging about as much because we're plugged in, so I can't really go about that much, honestly. I wonder if the lag is bad. Hopefully it's still watchable. But what after that? Android Invasion, and then it's Brain and Morbius, funnily enough. Brain and Morbius, just Frankenstein, but it's like Time Lord Frankenstein. I think Morbius is quite affecting. Something they exposed Brain, but with he's like Dealy Bop eye stalks and he's like claw hands. He's so silly but fleshy, and like the episode's quite gruesome as well because I feel like it's the one they always show where it's like, they blame 80s Who for getting grim, but actually look at this. And I feel like someone gets shot in Brain and Morbius and there's like proper blood, but like it's like 70s. It's fine. Like it's I don't want to say comedy violence, but it's like fantasy violence. Fantasy horror violence. I don't have much to say about Morbius. It's good. It's a big drawer of the lore. Like when people like to get that Sisterhood of, is it the Sisterhood of Khan? Is that what they're called? The priesty women, because of their Time Lordy connections, and yeah, it's a good Frankenstein episode. To be frank. But I'm basically struggling about things to say about Brain and Morbius. I kind of forget what the format of this thing. What it's been going on for so long that I'm just talking about Doctor Who episodes in general in vague terms. But yeah, good memories of it. I wish I had a Mobius toy. I'm going to keep calling him Mobius and Morbius just to harass you, basically. But they did one a few years ago / decades ago. God, I'm getting old. But I might pick one up if I find it in the wild. Hold me to that, eh? I'm just going to talk about other things. What have we got here? Seeds of Doom! Seeds of Doom is kind of a unit episode. Like this says it's the last unit episode, but I feel like units in Seeds of Doom. Is it not? That's the one with Boise for Only Fools and Horses, and that's mainly what I take away from Seeds of Doom. Is it not also like? Is there not also another episode called Seeds of Doom? Yeah, it's the other one called Seeds of Death, the Troughton one. Yeah, I know it's like decades apart, but come on, lads, come on. It's kind of the thing, isn't it? Seeds of Death, Seeds of Doom, Seeds of Death, Seeds of Doom. It's basically a thing from another world, but this is before Carpenter made it popular. I want to say so. It's like it's kind of a remake, homage, pastiche, grab bag of the thing from another world. Is that a 50s film? So they're taking the classic sci-fi as well as taken from Hammer horror and stuff. And I feel like the creature costume is one of the Axos costumes, but sprayed green. I feel like it looks better when it's a fleshy red. I'm still enamored with the flesh tech of Axos, if you haven't already guessed. It's because it's so not threatening. If it was properly, if they made Axos today and they made it as gruesome as they possibly could, I wouldn't be into it. But because it's paper mache and foam, I find it charming. But I don't really have much to say about Seeds of Doom. I like that Boise's in it, mostly. Young, thin Boise being, and it's kind of my main memories of it is it's like a Sweeney-ish episode. I think I feel like the commentaries said they shared directors, whatever. Like Sweeney, it's like an ITV4 like 70s detective thing, and with Doctor Who and the Thing from Another World. It's a good mix of things, really. Things that I like. Bye. It's hard to talk about episodes that are good, really. That's the problem I have. Mask of Maradona and Hand of Fear I'm going to lump together because I haven't seen them. I saw a bit of Mask last year. It didn't really hold my attention, if I'm honest. I tried to watch it because it was one I hadn't seen, but it wasn't like a historical, but it was like a space fantasy thing, I want to say. Or was it just Italian? I can't remember, honestly. And like Hand of Fear, I did see as a youth. I remember there'd be like a nuclear thing. I remember specifically leaving Sarah Jane, but other than that, I couldn't tell you what happened. I remember it was one of those ones that, as a youth, it didn't really hold my attention because it didn't have Daleks or like a creature that I liked. I've just knocked the camera. A creature that I liked necessarily, so I didn't really gravitate back to it. And this time, I missed it. I missed it last time in the summer because I think it was on. It was like same. It was on after Mask, and Mask didn't hold my attention, so it was two that I just skipped by. Which shame on me. Shame on me. I will do my picks of the day now, which is going to be tough because you get your Planet Evil, you get your Pyramids of Mars, you got your Android Invasion, you get your Prima Morbius, your Seeds of Doom, your Mask of Maradona, and your Hand of Fear. We'll eliminate Mask and Hand because I've not seen them. We'll eliminate Android Invasion because I do love it, and I love being able to hold the video, but we'll sweep that under the rug. Planet of Evil is good, but I'm gonna have to give it to old Pyramids of Mars. Going to be a populist for the night. Pyramids of Mars. I'm going to do double bill. Pyramids of Mars gets best episode, pick of the night, and best monster of the night because those mummies are memorable. They are memorable mummies. I would hella recommend just staring at those mummies. I feel like there's variants to them as well because there's like good ones, or at least like other deities ones, because like Sutekh was like sealed away by the other Osirans and they have their own mummies because they're big into their mummy tech. But double header for Pyramids of Mars, episode of the night and monster of the night. Tune in tomorrow when we'll do this again for, I assume, Deadly Assassin and other episodes. We might be getting into like Doctor 4 territory that I don't know all that well. There's like a clump in the middle of them that I've just not really seen, like the Sunmakers. We'll see how this goes. But I don't know why I'm like, bye everyone.